Good afternoon. This is Qualitative Research Method Week 4. We are Group 1. In this group, we have Brit, we have Biadima, Jane, Barak, and myself, Oluwatoyin. Our analysis is with respect to change management and how communication shapes employees' understanding of change, authority, and how cultural values are addressed during a restructuring process.
The purpose of this study. The purpose was to emphasize the necessity and importance of the organizational restructuring while managing employee responses and emotion. It included clear communication from the CEO's speech, email transcripts, and other artifacts to analyze how this communication affects the purpose of the organization in terms of change management, and employee welfare and emotional expectation. The key themes observed were change is a necessity due to market pressure and an unavoidable restructuring, people first opportunities, and a subtle control narrative by consistent messaging, performance expectation, and professional responsibility. The methodology, of course, is using the analytical approach of coding, analyzing the internal email, executive speech, meeting transcripts. A discourse-oriented approach has been used to interpret how power is constructed through the use of language. This analysis was conducted from an outside position. There are no employee comments included in the data. This analysis assumes that managers have a deliberate strategy when they use their language, depending on the organization and its members. Interposition, alternative interpretations could occur.
For me, I work as a data governance analyst, and we do a lot of data orientation to companies who do not have who have not been using their data right. And one of our deliverables has always been data literacy. We've realized that change is always very resistant to employees, especially the ones that have no knowledge with respect to tech, that are not so tech savvy. So what we do is to encourage the executive management, the C-level guys, to adopt it first. So we train it. Training is always from top to bottom, and realize that when employees have an understanding that even the C-level guys are embracing it, it's not that they're privy of it before now, but of course they are willing to learn. It motivates the low level and the middle level management to also adopt and embrace what we have to offer. So I think it's all about culture, like you said, and it's all about the C-level guys, the top level guys also they also syncing with the change process and encouraging everyone that it has come to stay. So then fear is eradicated. That's what we've noticed.
Now I will present the coding part. Actually, we have 7 main teams and sub-teams within the main teams. The most important one here is the collective identity and collaboration. As you can see, the code we actually used 15 times, 15. And it shows the collective identity and collaboration of the management with the other employees. And there are also other main teams as well. Next slide, please. The key elements, implicit messages, what unstated assumptions or norms are embedded in the communication. The change is inevitable and essential. The organizational change may lead to notable job impacts. Jobs will not be eliminated as stated by the CEO. Employers are uncomfortable with the organizational change, and it's acknowledged by the change management. So change can be challenging. Actually, these are the implicit messages. Yes, there are also some other key questions. Are there any indirect messages conveyed through the word choice, tone, or phrasing? The organizational change will not likely to lead some job losses. There will be resistance from some employees. This was not directly stated, but it was the tone of the documents. And how does the communication reflect organizational priorities or values? Communication showed priority to unity, innovation, and changes to remain competitive, and priorities, competitiveness, sustainability, profitability, and employee welfare, and unity narrative was used.
Okay, so we move on to power dynamics to explore the authority, control, and influence. So who has the power in the conversation and how is the power expressed? The CEO, the CEO and the department heads have power. No management level's opinion was excused. And the CEO frames the meaning and applies interpretive control. It was clear throughout all the documents at that level. What hierarchical relationship or power structures emerge in this discourse? The CEO has overall power and is at the top of the hierarchy, and under that you have the department heads, then the non-managerial or frontline employees. Now, in terms of organizational structures, culture, we have what are the norms, values, and identity? What does the language used reveal about the organization's culture? So based on the language that we've observed, management ensures proper alignment with chain of command. It properly communicates its plans and strives for clear understanding of the employees to avoid panic and breakdown of operations, as Burak was as Jumbo actually was just highlighting in one of the meetings. There is a lot of care by top management to avoid panic and fear among the employees through this change management. Now, in terms of recurring themes, there is an interest in framing it as opportunities of growth, challenges and changes, priorities on employees and their development. Change is a necessity due to market pressure and an unavoidable restructuring. So it's about people first, opportunities, performance expectations, as well as professional responsibility. So the communication overall aligns with the official organizational identity. And what we can see from the analyzed text, there are no contradictions. However, there are tensions on the full implication of the proposed organizational change. There is a fear from senior management that employees may resist this change.
I just wanted to argue the organizational culture within the firm, actually, from the text, from my real life example that I had. For example, in my company, when there's a big structural change or a key appointment, before then, the management, the board actually ask for the opinion of the all employees. Like they like a kind of do a survey, to understand, so to make sure that they are prepared for that, and which was not seen in this document. Actually, in this document, that it was very top-down approach.
So overall, our conclusion are that the change is necessary, and it reinforces leadership authorities to promote this kind of unity. But also, there is a need for acknowledged employee concerns, and that's what we addressed in this discussion as well. And there could be a kind of guidance how language should be formed in a way so it actually created acceptance of the organization transformation. As we mentioned in this presentation, culture is a very, very important thing to address.
Perhaps also it comes when it's about communicating change, perhaps giving more context of the why and the bigger goal or the bigger.
Yeah, and also what we learned previously, the paradigm, what kind of paradigm we actually are using. Are we using the objective or the subjective, or are we actually combining these two factors? I think it's quite...
That's a good point. I would say perhaps the constructivist would be interesting here, because
one of the things I find a little bit challenging when we only make this kind of qualitative research is basically that the wording and how you actually construct the wording, as also we have talked about, is quite difficult to measure. And as we don't know the company, it's very hard to actually set what leverage of expectation, and also how do we actually measure unity, because unity is a fluffy word. It's normally 100%. I think that's a wrap. So thank you so much for listening in.